Hello everybody, so today we are going over a Damba PC VOD. So this is Diamond 3, and we are on Ice Mines. Okay, so there's not too much point talking. Well, that's true, man, I don't have the skin. I have to use skin boosters for it. I have like 30 something skin boosters maybe, but still, dude. Right, there's no point talking about Damba builds too much because they are changing next patch, which is in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So for this patch, this is fine, and we'll find out because Eerie Presence is getting reworked, so we will see what it's like then. Chronos is fine. Looking at comps, this is not a game that I would have picked Damba, by the way. Damba is playable on Ice Mines. I am personally not the biggest fan of it, but it's fine. It does kind of suck because you're both Damba on Ice Mines and your team has 3 big CC ults, like Rom, Damba, and Inara are like basically the same ult. So you're just gonna lose to resil late game. So your ults are like, this is gonna be very hard because Ice Mines is very ult dependent. Your ults are gonna fall off late game. It's also going to go late game because it's Ice Mines, like almost guaranteed. So this is gonna be hard. For what your team actually wants to do, this Rom is going to have a really tough time killing anything. Okay, maybe he's going to have an easier time killing things because that's Totemic Ward and Resonance. I was thinking they could probably get away with focusing on this game and just rely on their ults for sustain, because their ults for sustain aside from Vatu are like insane. But that's okay. They are Totemic Ward and Resonance, so you're probably still going to rely on your ROM putting on a decent bit of space on the right side of the map so that your Kinessa can do stuff. That's really like your only advantage, is that your Kinessa has more range. And you're gonna have more sustain early, maybe, probably not. Yeah, I think your comp sucks, but honestly, it is sort of a PPL comp where like it mostly just depends on like matchups and who does what. So let's see what your team does. But I definitely look to like keep your Kinessa alive and stuff, and you go above. Okay, so I made a video on it, and I'll just link it in the description instead of talking about it for too long. But basically, if you go below here, it's faster. So they're gonna get to your backline for free, just because you're ROM. None of your tanks went stage. They went stages. They get master riding? Oh, they did. Oh, that's so good for them. Yeah, this is free backline because I said your kin was like the only thing that really stands out about your comp. Well, your kin is about to get. Oh, she's down here. Okay, I thought like you and kin were gonna be up here, like Rom was gonna be over here. Okay, but I guess you guys are going to the backline instead, and your Kinessa's playing. Don't play down here, by the way. The LOS is just very, very bad. Like you can shoot windows and point, but like that's it. That's not actually like, I don't know. You get pushed, you lose off lane. It's a bad time. Don't play down there. I mean, you can sometimes, but it's not where you should roll out to generally, especially on support. So yeah, right away, if I see like that, I'm like, okay, well, I guess we gotta push left. Otherwise, they're just gonna like take more space than us and we're gonna lose. Yeah, I hear mount steps, horse steps, footsteps, hoof steps. I don't. You hear the mount behind you. I definitely look to push in here with the ROM, the Zen, because they're like doing stuff. I wouldn't slither onto point necessarily. Yeah, that's what happens. Because now, wait, where did your Zen go? Oh, he came back. Okay, so you kind of. Can I switch POVs game? You kind of. You look back to try to help your kin. And she died. Then you look back to help your offlane, and your offlane left. So that's unlucky. But slithering onto point, not great, and not noticing that your offlane backed up is also not great. Yeah, you're kind of just dead for that. It was a good punish by the Vatu. The Vatu's kind of fun. So like realistically, like you go Barn, if you really want. Like like defaulting to Barn is a bit weird. The early dismount was a bit weird, but it's Ice Mines, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I would not go in. My gosh, sir, careful. You are 2 people alive. And your ROM isn't doing anything. Unlucky should be dead. Okay, Vatu's beefing. So she's going in. My son. Keep shooting him. Oh my god, there's no way you actually love that. Alright. Your ROM is making space. They're gonna have respawns before you, which I would be careful about. Just like a small thing, but like you walked up into here and looked for a stun. You're probably just better off playing back here and looking for damage. I don't think it was that safe to walk up that close. And like your DPS weren't really there. So like I talk about this in that Damba guide, and it's the topic of a certain other video called the cost of causing crowd control. But basically, like unless you have follow up, you're better off just shooting instead of going for stuns. Like stuns look cool, but you like build your ult and actually do damage and contribute. Kanessa did not need a heal. Inara and Zen are both characters, especially Inara. They're both characters who can take advantage of a lot of healing. Like some characters will just take a lot of healing, or if you heal them a lot, they won't do that much. Like Ruckus won't necessarily. The more you heal a Ruckus, he won't do like that much. But like if you pocket like an Inara or a Term or a Khan or a Makoa, they'll do a lot with that healing. So like even just double stacking the heal on the Inara, even if she doesn't need it. That is unlucky. That's probably the play there. You can back up. I would back up too. You probably back up high ground, because now being mid is a bit iffy. It's kind of the second time you haven't noticed what your tanks are getting up to. Your ROM is still very deep. So you know, so you can't see anything. That's kind of because you're in mid. If you were here, you get vision of the Ashe, you get vision on your Ken easier, you get vision on what's going on point. Unlucky. You could have just feared that, maybe? Because your Inara was there? That's unlucky. I think you were late on that, if you were going to try and get him. You're losing track of people a decent bit. Because like you didn't notice the Ashe, you turn around, it's like, oh hey, there's the Vatu, and like the Vatu could have been on your Kin or something. And that's partly because of your position, right? Like if you were back here, you can straight up just see more, so it gets easier to keep track of everyone because you straight up just have more information. But it's also like happened twice, 3 times now, so keeping track of people is hard, dude. But just like you start by keeping track of what's scary to you, and then you move on. So like this game, okay, just literally start. Okay, where's the Vatu? I need to know where this Vatu is at all times, or I need to know where the Vatu and the Ashe are at all times. Then okay, I need to know where the Vatu, the Ashe, and the Nando are. Then okay, the Vatu, the Ashe, the Nando, and the Grok. And then all 5, and then like just slowly try and get better at that. So just so you don't like overwhelm yourself, because it's a lot to try and play the game and also improve at it. Your ROM is having a fun time. So now big. You hear Vatu noises. Help your Kanessa. Where'd she go? Oh, she went to point. All right. Probably back up here. Your team is kind of losing. Still back up. Like you have numbers, but like you're both in mid. They have high ground if they want it. I guess your ROM is. I wish I could see damage taken, dude. This man is up for a. He's been nominated for the Got Pounded award.
30 seconds left.
Maybe we would have been able to help with that if you're on high ground. Okay. Same thing, sort of awareness a little bit. You just kind of like walked through mid and slivered up top, and like sure that's great, but like also you walked through mid. There's a lot of people that could see there. Very scary is that's my point there. It works out, but like holy dude.
15 seconds. They're getting hot.
You probably should have saved that sliver. You just walk over here, then you sliver like out this window to over here, because on this part of the map. You either want to be at this door, or ideally you play up here, on this little ledge here. This is outside of spawn, so your heal will work. So
10,
I
9,
just start backing up to there right away because that's where the fight's gonna happen. That's where the choke is.
5, 4,
Okay,
3,
sure.
2, 1. Alright,
Or your team just kills them.
Boys.
If you want to get really spicy, you could have dropped earlier to contest. Oh, you went to carry. You could have dropped earlier to contest if you're 100% sure that the defense was won to farm credits, but that's probably a bit too risky. So, all right. So like what you change? First of all, resil check.
Capture points on 15 seconds.
They buy any more? They can't buy any more. So resil 1 on Grok, and wow, yeah, okay. This is tough already, right? So.
3,
Because like the Grok has Ghost Walk, and everyone else is probably gonna like live. So you're looking to either mess up the Ashe if the Ashe feeds. Same with the Nando, but you're probably just gonna wait for the Vatu to go in. Buy an item. Buy like something. Buy Mass Writing, buy Haven, buy Resil. Resil's probably good here into Ashe Vatu. Because like they're realistically gonna try to kill you with their ults, right? So. If you wanted to, and you knew your team wasn't hard contests. Bro, this thing's massive. How do you miss with this? Oh my, look at the size of that thing. Oh my god. Is this what the hitboxes in this game are, dude? Holy. Okay. What I was gonna say is you could throw a gourd over there and try to get dismounts. What does that look like from the Kinessa POV? Okay, well, I guess nothing. Oh, it looks normal to... I don't know how this game works. So you're getting pushed because the Nando is right there. See that? Yeah. Okay. So it is still a little risky to like be here with no off tank. You shouldn't. A support in a DPS should not be outboxing a tank in a DPS. Like that just should not happen. But like good ult nonetheless. You need to keep your Kinessa alive. Run though. Oh my god. How are you not dead? Did she have to reload? Okay. Yeah, you needed to back up a little earlier, but that's fine. I would not be walking this aggressively with 200 HP because this is asking to get unlucky. This is asking for like a Grok Shock Pulse to kill you. This is asking for the Ashe to turn around and look at you, or a random Ying Shatter, or like whatever. You know, like this is asking to get unlucky. Like you're probably fine, but small thing, your gourd put you in combat there. If you didn't gourd, you would have healed up to full, so like you can, you know, do fancy things with your gourd. Like you bounce it off a wall, right? Because like the cooldown starts. I just wanted to double check and make sure that I wasn't imagining things. The cooldown starts when you throw it. So like, if you want to, when you're here and you want to like put the gourd on point, you can like bounce it off. Like you throw it here, bounce it off this corner, and it'll take longer to land, but still land in the same spot. And you will have out of combated by the time that it lands. Follow up. I don't really like where you're positioned. This is kind of out in the open. Like I get like why you're playing here. This makes sense. I just think that if you do want to play in this sort of thing and like push for your team, you play more like on this like wooden bit. Playing anywhere down like this area is very scary. You get out? He gets out. Unlucky. Yeah, okay. If your Nara's not gonna go zone, then get off point. Like go either like you probably just play it through Kinessa because you're our right side because your Kinessa can do that, right? You can't. So this gets like really scary because now they're actually gonna push. So unless you think you can cheese point, you need to leave and get ready for the team fight that's about to happen. Here comes touch. Kinessa just gonna farm that? No, maybe a little bit. Okay, so the Vatu just ignores you. You're still on point, which is not great, because again, you're like you don't even know what's behind you. What's behind you, right? like your tanks are fighting their tanks. The Ying is looking at you. The Vatu is in your back line. Or the Nando's dead, I guess. But like you could easily get pressured here, right? And I think the Ying is like about to force you to use Sliver to left side, and then the Vatu's gonna kill your Kinessa, and then the Vatu's gonna come and kill you. So.
All right, overtime. Now or never, boys.
No, your kin lives. Okay, I don't know how your kin lives. You're still on point. Get off point, dude. Like, okay, your rollouts at the beginning, you know that going to point is bad, right? You know that just staying on the objective is bad. Like, it's the exact same thought process, right? It's like point is deaf. This is deaf, right? It's just at a later stage in the fight than not. Like, let your tanks take it. You'll not be going for a flanks when your tanks are like 1 HP, but oh my god, you're still walking it down. Oh boy. It would have been a lot easier for you if you had just backed up this way. Like maybe played this door. If you needed to, you could have slivered this way. Same general LOS, but a lot less walking through mid required. If you're, yeah, big. The Ying. Well, that's resil, right? Play inside a barn here if you wanted. He's not gonna chase. Okay, you had to touch. Fair enough. Good old objective pressure. Yeah, if you see the Vatu there, don't just like take damage from his wall. Just inside, cover, all that good stuff. You know the drill.
Okay, real talk.
All right. Overall, like I think you seem to have the right idea, right? It's just like you know, okay, my tanks want to go zone, I want to go on point. It's like cool, but then like when they don't do that, then what do you do and how do you do it, right? So like you back up and you back up, not in mid.
Enemy dub. Look out.
Okay, and I just want to like stress, being in like this area is very bad. So try to avoid it. I'm just pushing. Fun fact, you can push from up top here if you hug the edge. So you can have both high ground and be pushing card at the same time. Your Nara has point though, so it doesn't really matter. This positioning is good. And you're just pushing cart. You cast as an angle, your arm's doing whatever. I think you drop because you're Zin drop, that's fine. Ice Mines is weird, but like Ice Mines is weird because the push is so dangerous for a support that the support almost never takes it unless the fight is happening somewhere else. So like if you know the card's way back, your team is like way zoned up, then you can take point. But otherwise, you almost never take it. Sometimes things like Grover and Ying will take it, but that's only because they have vertical mobility. It's because they can get up to the important parts, which are like the side high grounds, with a cooldown. Damba cannot do that, right? So you're probably going with your kin very early. You're leaving the Sonara to push. I wouldn't really go top right unless your team is hard pushing there, because generally your end goal is going to be this positioning, because this is generally what you want, unless the other team is like a really like a sniper or something maybe. So like you just get dropped on for free because high ground is good if you're with your kin up top left. Be in a better spot. You can go. Like you see like you 2 out of the fight, the Vatu has done nothing but dash around 3 times. Your Rom is kind of, again, trying to feed, but I guess he's alive. This Rom is, I don't know, he's towing the line, dude. Just get out. When you get out, you always decide to get out like 2 seconds too late. You're not necessarily getting punished for it all the time, but you could be. You probably don't. You probably don't use Fear here. That resil sucks for your team. So the entire fight is happening down mid. You guys shouldn't win this just because like they have better positioning and they have respawns. Defender's advantage goes pretty hard.
30 seconds left.
I don't think there's anything that you could have necessarily done to win that fight. Like you probably could have played it better, but like I mean like just use cover and stuff. and heal priority. But like that's like not super specific stuff, you know. You guys actually get an touch. High grounds! The importance of high grounds demonstrated right here. You love peeking at low HP. That gourd could have been a bit closer towards the door, so you see people coming earlier for the dot, but it's not the end of the world. I don't understand the nimble buy. I don't. The reason that I don't like nimble is because you like haven't been rotating that much. Like on the mid fights, I mean the first one was stupid, and the second one was like a lot of ults. Theoretically, nimble helps you get from position to position faster, right? Helps you rotate faster. That's kind of like just what it does. You haven't needed to rotate. You've needed to position better. So, I don't know. I think either nimble is a bad buy and you should have gone Haven, or you can position differently and then you won't feel like you need nimble. But yeah, it's probably just Haven resil, maybe veteran, depending on how many credits you have. I don't know. I don't want to do that math, man. That's hard. Resil 2, veteran 1, Haven 1, I think is the math. Okay, wow. Okay, so they are on top of you. I would not have mounted into this. Holy heck. You hear early rock ult, you have your mount, you can literally just leave. You can literally just leave. Why would you ever mount into this, dude? Oh my, just leave. Literally, people leave. People leave. This ult is like fine, but like there's no reason that you need to put yourself into this position, right? And again, because your comp sucks and like result check, right? Like, yeah, like look at that, dude. That's that's kind of crazy. This isn't gonna do anything really. You're just dead. You walk back. I don't know how you're alive. I don't know why did you sliver this way, dude. Okay. So you sliver this way, which like there's something to be said for getting dove in the open, because then your team can like follow up better and you can try to trade backlines and whatever. Sure, you shouldn't have been here, but then you sliver from here to all the way over there instead of like back here or into barn, or like you're probably just dead either way. But like it's very weird to me that you sliver this way. Again, I think you're dead either way because like you heard the early rock ult and didn't immediately leave.
Alright, they're getting hot.
But you know, think about master rating. Cool. One of the reasons I don't like this weapon, by the way, is because like I feel like you can never tell if you hit or miss. Like the audio is like the same. There's no different VFX. Nice. You probably just throw Gord down immediately. As soon as you see her, don't bother. Oh, you said okay. Yeah, you probably just throw Gord down right away. I don't know. I think you can. Oh, you get that off. Start that down.
Time to stop that guy. Quit whining and get on the payload.
So now you probably leave. Something that like sounds really memey and unhelpful, but like is genuinely true, is that like when you see people get very high healing numbers, a large chunk of that is mechanics. And I don't just mean like, I mean I guess like it's just you hit more heals, right? Like you just missed like what, like 3-4 heals in a row there. It's like that sucks. Like what it means is that you spend like what, like a second and a half when you could have gotten like basically another heal off in that time. It's like literally if you just like hit that shot, the Sinara like basically already has a heal on her, right? So if you are looking to do more healing, unironically your mechanics are probably something to look at for things like Damba, like Ying at the very least. Not like IO, but you know. So I remember when IO used to be like high skill cap. She wasn't just Saris 2. And they added Sarah's Free into the game. Yeah, this is good. You could ult. You'd rebuild it, so. Does Grok have resil free yet? Yeah. What's Master Riding looking like actually? Your team's kinda getting beat, I guess. There are Vatu noises behind you. What's going on back there? Okay, you probably want to turn for this. I don't know how your Inara has used, I think, every single one of her cooldowns is 25% HP and this Vatu is full. But that's kind of the reason why you want to turn around, is because sometimes your teammates do stuff like that. Yeah. How did that not hit you? Nice shots. Alright, sure, I guess. You could probably hold. Okay. You are spamming. Good job. This is not a time to be going. I mean, you could go for stuns. There's the there's the fucking beam from Kanessa again. You could go for stuns here. It'd be fine. Probably better to go. I mean, actually, no. You probably want to break Nando's shield. If Nando's shield's gone, then you can go for stuns. If you want, I think damage is probably still better. But you are spamming damage and you are doing healing. You are spamming at your team though. Like if you go back and watch, you are shooting your Xin. So this is a bad habit. Like I do it, and it's hard to break because your brain goes on autopilot. But like that's kind of, you know, what practice is for. It's like what you'd want to do. You want to spam with the other team, then flick to hit your Zen. See if you do it again. Spamming at the other team.
Yeah, well, thanks for the heals.
This is good. Okay, well you just stop doing it as soon as I say. Fair enough, I guess. Why are you using it now?
Enemy dub, look out!
You can make a play. That was cool.
Enemy dub, look out!
Well, you guys are doing pretty good on these fights where your Kinesta can actually get value and your ROM is actually like stopping their Ash. If only you did that on the mid fights.
10, 9, 8.
They don't have touch, right?
6,
They shouldn't.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Save the KD. Okay.
Capture point spawns in 15 seconds.
You could have bought Master Riding free. You could have maybe gone for dismounts through the gate, because if you get dismounts on the Ash, that literally just probably wins you the game.
5, 4,
It's very risky, but like you could go for
2,
it. I still think you should buy an item. Or buy a resil, sorry. You should also buy an item. Haven's good, but... Okay. You see, like... Yeah, if the Ash and the Vatu aren't there, like your Kin's just gonna get pounded, dude.
Real talk, I'm gonna stop that guy.
Fair enough, I guess. Alright, let's go, Kanessa. Well, you probably guard yourself there, you're low, you're under pressure. I don't think it's the worst. Oh, like you had the right idea. I was like, oh shit, this thing is inside of us. Let's get her. But with resil freeze, dude, the margin, like you probably get this kill. With no resil, right? But your Nara just got stunned by Ash ult, I think, and I don't even know where your Zen went. He was in barn, right? Oh, he's on point now. Okay, cool. The idea behind this is good, but really with resil free, you can only do it if people are already looking at the squishy. Like if the Inara and the Zen were looking at the Ying and then you ulted her, yeah, that's probably a kill. But if no one's looking at her, she just gets feared for 0.5 seconds and then like leaves. So good stun does nothing. Yo, your DR is down right. You also didn't gourd yourself in your 800 HP. But
unstoppable.
Your team
Somebody
cleans up.
do
Yeah,
something.
I think Gording yourself might want to prioritize that a little harder. Are you going to do the same thing where you stand on point? Oh, your Nara's actually pushing up this time. Let's go, dude. As soon as you see that, I'd be starting stuns. That was the worst reaction time. But yeah, as soon as you see that, you're probably starting stuns or starting to back up. Like it doesn't matter if you're capping from up here or like back here. Like you can cap from up here, and then like when you push, is just like dip behind cover and make him have to swing very hard to actually get to you. But you get the kill. I'd leave point, man. Like you are in these sorts of messy fights where they're going for retake. Like you probably win this game, right? But yeah, you probably win this game. The only way they win these sorts of messy fights is if they kill you. That is their only chance. If you stay alive in these messy fights, there's zero chance the other team can win because their damage just will not stick. They don't have enough damage to make it stick. But if they kill you, then their damage sticks, and then one thing can lead to another. Like again, you guys have such an advantage that even if you die, you should probably win the team fight. But you dying is like the way that they win. Also, your team emoting too early. Like, I'd leave point, I'd be gone, I'd be in my windows, because then you're invincible. No one's going to have the time to GC, you know? Nice team up. Facing the wrong way, though. Okay, so, let's see. Make sure you guard yourself. Work on, honestly, general awareness. Stop playing in mid. Stop playing in mid. Get in, like, the off lane and stuff. That was a really weird game, because you never really had like an off lane matchups, and like you didn't have an off lane matchup. Your Rom was off taking 200k damage. The Ashe Vatu was tripping over themselves trying to kill a backline. It was a very weird game. You didn't do that bad, and like it was really hard to get value for your ults. Like that was a very exceptions kind of game. But despite that, you still played like okay. I think your team did a lot of the heavy lifting, and that's kind of like why you won. So if you wanted to get like, if you wanted to do another VOD, I'd definitely submit a loss that's maybe more standard. Because like learning the stuff like, okay, what if I basically just don't have an off tank? Yeah, you'll have to learn that stuff at some point. But that stuff usually comes after like getting the fundamentals down, and that game was very, very weird. So yeah, still didn't do too bad. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, you can submit your own VOD if you're interested, either in the Discord or actually just in the comments or anywhere. But there's a channel for it in the Discord or on stream. Stream has a channel points redeemed there. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Now, see you all next time. Bye bye.